Welcome to Community Checkup. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller.
And I'm Missy Acosta with Delta Dental of Tennessee.
And what a cool place to be today.
Yes, we're in Bridgestone Arena.
Yes.
It's the Delta Dental zone on the concourse here. And, you know, it's normally packed with people and everybody's pushing their way through, but it's just nice to observe and take a look around. This is a fun area.
It really is wonderful to be here where there's just very few people here. Share a little bit of information about the toothbrush wall that we have over here.
Yes, we have about 1,500 bamboo toothbrushes that are, they make up the art for the wall, and they painted a Pred head on it in Delta Dental green. So it's a fun little piece over there.
Is it used for any fundraising? Like, can people buy, or what's the word I'm looking for?
No, it's really just
to look at
the art. Yes.
I love it so much. We have a lot to share with you today on Community Checkup. We are going to be speaking with the Chief Revenue Officer for the Nashville Predators, as well as the Vice President of Community Relations and the Nashville Predators Foundation. What I love about this, they're both women, and it is Women's History Month, which I think is huge too. Be able to talk with two leading leaders, women leaders in our area.
Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, women leaders in sports is a rarity. And the Nashville Predators, there are so many wonderful women in the organization. I love working with them.
Well, I cannot wait to hear from what they have to say. We're also touching on some pretty important information about Youth Sports Safety Month, the importance of mouth guards. We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, you have a poll that you wanted to share.
Yes, this is an exciting poll that we do every year with Delta Dental. So it's the Tooth Fairy poll. And we poll parents across the country to find out what is the going rate for the Tooth Fairy in their households. And this year, overall, nationwide, it has dropped for the second year in a row.
Okay.
Now, this poll is done in January, so I think economics will play a factor in that. We'll see what happens next year. But this year, the decline was 14% from $5.84 to $5.01. So you got about a $5 average out there for the Tooth Fairy. But it's a fun poll, and it also tracks with the S&P 500. We have a couple of graphs we can share with you. So,
I love it. Before we head into our first break, before we get to our fantastic guests, any other information that we feel like everyone needs to know right off the bat today?
You know, I just want to preface our relationship with the Preds from the Nashville, or with Delta Dental of Tennessee. We've been partners with the Predators for over 15 years, and it all started with mouth guards. We started, they would brand mouth guards. We would get them out to youth inline and ice hockey players across the state. And, you know, that was the start of a relationship that has just grown and grown, and love working with these guys. From the coaches to the players to the staff, everyone gets into this. And when we talk about Youth Sports Safety Month, it is so important. That mouthpiece is just as important as your helmet, as your shoulder pads, your knee pads. And so the Predators have really been great partners, helping us get that story out to young ones who are starting to play hockey and really get them into the habit of using that mouthpiece. And, you know, with Delta Dental, we're all about protecting the teeth, but there's a lot more that a mouth guard is able to help. Not only to prevent injuries, but also there are some mouthpieces that help improve your performance.
Really?
So, because it's the way that it's positioned opens up the airways. So
we are so lucky to have Delta Dental of Tennessee. From the top of the show, if people wanted more information to check out your website, what all can they find there? Just to make sure that they understand what they can find.
Actually, on mouth guards, deltadental.com/mouth guards. We do have a lot of information. We've got videos out there. We've got some coaches from local universities, from the Predators, a lot of people trying to help share that story about why mouth guards are important. And we also have information about the different types of mouthpieces. So, yeah, lots of information for parents.
I'm excited to get into the rest of the show today. Coming up first, we have Rebecca King, the Vice President of Community Relations and the Nashville Predators Foundation. She'll be with us when we return.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
At Bongo Java. Come see us at the Omni Nashville.
Welcome back to Community Checkup. She has spent 20 seasons with your Nashville Predators. We have Rebecca King. She's the Vice President of Community Relations and the Nashville Predators Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate getting to talk about what we get to do every day.
The foundation, there's so much that you guys do in the community that people just aren't aware of. Now, they might be familiar with the events, but you guys give away a lot of money with grants.
We have an amazing platform of being a professional sports franchise, and so we leverage that to raise as much money as we can through events and auctions. And the benefit of our foundation is we don't necessarily run our own programs. We raise money to help everybody else. So you can think of a nonprofit, we've probably given them a grant or given them an auction item, and so we do spend our entire year helping everybody else do the work that they're doing.
Is it any nonprofit that can reach out to you for the grants that you offer?
So our grants are mostly for youth and families, so it is broad-based. We had a grandparents organization reach out because they had a reading program and the grandparents were going to schools, they needed supplies. So it's not necessarily the mission statement of the organization, but more about what the program is. And so, I mean, anyone can apply. If you don't put your name in the hat, you're definitely not going to get money. But if you don't get a grant, you might be a featured charity, which means you get to come to a game and be the charity of the night, and we do a drive and you get money from our mystery pucks. Or if you have an auction, we can give you memorabilia and you can auction it off. So in some capacity, we can help, no matter what the mission is, that you're just a nonprofit doing good work in the community.
That's incredible.
Now, and the players get involved with a lot of these fundraisers too.
They do. So we are heavy event based. We have to put on about 10 events a year, and it's year round. And the players are at our golf tournament, our casino night, our clay shoot, and then we do events like a beer festival and a wine tasting where it's not player dependent. And so the guys make it more fun. The tickets are a little higher value because you get to interact, and the players are the dealers at the gaming tables, or they're on your team for the clay shoot and you get to shoot targets with them all day. So the ability to mix and mingle with our players and get to know them on a more than just an autograph passing moment. They're good guys. They love giving back to the community. They're children's hospitals, schools, hockey clinics. There's no shortage of them being out in the community.
Can you give us an idea of just how much the Predators Foundation has put into the community in the past year so people can understand the amount that you're putting out?
So we have an annual goal of raising $3 million. And so again, through the events and then through also great corporate partners. So our partners are sponsors of our events or fund different programs. And so through these networks of people that we have and our fans, we're able to raise this money and distribute it. In May, we'll give out over $850,000 in one day. And so we bring in all the nonprofits into one room and we hand out the checks one by one. And I always call it the most powerful room in Nashville because it's these people doing amazing work. I mean, we sell hot dogs and popcorn. I don't cure cancer, but I can raise money and you can cure cancer. I don't help with kids at the local playground and need a big brother, but I can give money to big brothers, big sisters, and they can advocate and get more big. So we can leverage the assets we have of our fans, our sponsors, our partners, our players, and help everybody else.
You guys do a lot of fun things. I've had the opportunity to do some fun things with you. We built a playground.
Yes.
And that's involving your staff and some others. Can you tell us a little bit about those Kaboom builds?
Yes, so we have built 13 playgrounds in 13 years, and we work with Kaboom, that's a national nonprofit in DC. They vet and find places that are kind of a playground desert. There's not a lot of places, safe places for kids to play. And so organizations will apply And the playgrounds are about $130,000. They're not cheap projects, but if I can bring in Delta Dental and local partners with the Preds, whatever's not funded, we fulfill, and we bring in 200 people. And we show up at 8 a.m. and there's nothing, and at 2:30 when we do the ribbon cutting, there's a playground. And we did one at MDHA a couple of months ago, and the grandparents were on the porch and the kids were coming home from school, and there's a playground now in their backyard and they get to go play safely. And it's not only important for our employees because it's something they look forward to every year, mixing cement and moving mulch, and it's hard labor, but it's very fulfilling because you leave with a project that's completed.
Yeah, and most times they bring kids out and the kids just light up.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Part of the ribbon cutting, so yes. I think the biggest thing for us is that our events are only as successful as the attendees, and so we rely heavily on people who love to fish to come to our fishing tournament. If you love to clay shoot, come to the clay shoot. If you like wine, we have a wine tasting. If you like bowling, we have so many events that appeal to many different people, and we depend on people buying tickets to these events. And to get to $3 million, I'm not given money to go do good deeds in the community, so we spend our whole year raising those funds so then we can give them away. So I say it's blood, sweat, and tears all day, every day, with auctions and events and planning, and that's how we
find out about these events.
So if you go to NashvillePredators.com/foundation, it'll have all of the programs that we support, all of the events we have coming up. We have an amazing Hockey for Her event coming in March, and we bring 150 women to Bridgestone Arena, and we have different guest speakers and behind the scene tours and little quips that you wouldn't really know just coming to a game. And then in April, we have our wine tasting, so NashvillePredators.com/wine, and we have hundreds of tables of wine and beer and liquor and food, and it's a 4-hour tasting, and there'll be a hockey game on the screen. And so it gives the people opportunity just to mix and mingle, watch hockey, try wine, and then raise money for the foundation.
Just your thoughts on mouth guards for the youth. Again, April coming up, it is going to be Youth Sports Safety Month.
Yes.
Again, you get to talk and see the players here. Talk to us about the importance of mouth guards.
I mean, it's twofold. We see the players and they show up, and the ones without teeth, you know what has happened. As a parent, I have 3 small children. 2 play hockey, 1 plays lacrosse, and so they all have to have really solid mouth guards because I want to save their teeth. And so it's something important in our house and important to our players. So we appreciate Delta Dental's mission to help get them to all the kids, to help their teeth and all the things that go along with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sitting down with us. It is such a pleasure to hear from, once again, Rebecca King, the Vice President of Community Relations. She's also with the Nashville Predators Foundation, 20 seasons with the Nashville Preds. Thank you for all you've done.
Thank you.
Who do we have coming up next?
Coming up next is Deanna Witter. She's the Chief Revenue Officer, I believe, 2nd season with the Preds. So can't wait to introduce everybody to her.
Stick with us. We'll be right back.
My name is Royce, Bellman and Omni Hotel. Please come and see us.
Dental and vision. We love your whole face. See us at deltadentaltn.com.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
Welcome back to Community Checkup. We are here at Bridgestone Arena in the Delta Dental Zone. And now I have the pleasure of introducing my friend, Deanna Witter.
Thank you, Missy.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, Deanna, you are Chief Revenue Officer here for the Pride 2nd season.
2nd season, yes.
How's it going so far?
It's going fantastic. Yes, great 2nd season. 1st season, obviously really exciting coming here. making the move, and now into the second season, finally got the training wheels off.
So you moved to Nashville from Houston.
That's right.
And what was it like moving into Nashville? And really, you've done professional sports throughout most of your career. This was your first foray with the NHL.
That's correct. So the move was actually really easy. I mean, Nashville's a remarkable community, remarkable city. We were moving here from Houston, so we didn't have to like move to anywhere that had snow or bad weather, obviously. And it's just a remarkable, energetic city. My family, we live up in Gallatin, so we found a great spot up in Gallatin, Tennessee, and been able to call it home. So it's been fantastic. And then from a hockey perspective, you know, I've worked in the NBA, I've worked in the NFL, I've worked for the MLS, WNBA, NWSL, and hockey and baseball were the two sports I've yet to touch. And so the transition into hockey has been extremely incredible. It's been very welcoming. And I think the biggest thing that I've really been really impressed with is just the energy and the fan connection engagement and how excited and how incredible the fans are here with the Predators and here in Nashville. It's been remarkable. Yes. Smashville, I should say. Yeah.
Smashville. I do want to go back just a little bit because being a woman, being a leader in your industry, walk us more through specifically of your path for those maybe young ladies that are watching this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my path is unique. I mean, most of the time when you talk to somebody who's gotten into sports, they say, oh, I didn't know there was a job in sports. That isn't my story. I actually knew that I wanted to work in professional sports when I was 14 years old. I had this incredible opportunity to sit courtside at a Detroit Pistons game, and at that game, I had this sort of aha moment that all of this doesn't just happen on its own. There are people who have careers and jobs that are responsible for creating the experiences that I was just experienced in that moment, and creating the environment and everything that happens at a game. And I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be a part of creating experiences and memories and things that motivate and inspire people, like being a part of a community as a fan base is. And so I actually set path with a vision to work in sports. Went to college as a first generation college student, broke into sports by working for the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever, and then have had the honor of working for multiple organizations: the Detroit Lions, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the NBA League Office, the Houston Dynamo and Houston Dash, and now here with the Nashville Predators. So it's been a remarkable journey.
That's awesome. There is one other woman who is amazing in this organization.
Yes. There's a number of amazing women, actually.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Michelle Kennedy.
Yes.
And I was able to listen to your podcast, and we'll ask about your podcast in a minute, but for you to be able to work alongside Michelle, what are some things that maybe you have learned working with her over the past couple of years?
That's a great question. You know, she is incredibly energetic, right? So it's almost infectious, her smile, her energy. And I think that's what leadership is. It's about that connection and that opportunity to transfer energy to individuals, about your passion for the work that you're doing. And then last, I would say from a business perspective, her foundation and her path has been finance, legal, operations. My path has been sales and marketing. So when we're working together, this new lens that I'm picking up from her perspective, one that I haven't had, because not only had I really only worked for men in my career, but always somebody who came up the same path as I had. So it opens my my window of opportunity, my lens of what I'm learning and how I think about the things that we're doing from a business perspective and how we're leading as well. So it's been extremely valuable, and it's incredible.
That's awesome.
Share more about your podcast.
Yeah, so Michelle was on, so you referenced, Missy, that Michelle was a season finale guest on my podcast last season. So I launched a podcast called Women Blazers in 2020 during the pandemic. It was an opportunity, I thought, for me to give back and sort of elevate and amplify the profiles of women leaders across our industry. And all of these women, to me, I would consider are either opening doors, blazing trails, and creating more opportunities by making the path, just understanding that everybody is going to go through something, and on the other side of it, we're opening so much opportunity for other women and bringing women up with us. And so it's been an absolute gift to be in a position to host that podcast. I did it for 5 years, and in January, I just hosted my 100th episode, which was the goal and the milestone. So I just finished that up in January, so check it out if you're interested.
So I love all the things that you have brought to the Preds. the Women in Business Night.
Yes, Thursday. Yes.
That one's coming up.
Yep.
Aside from that, obviously, we have a relationship because of the sponsorship.
Yes.
And one of the biggest pieces of that, we mentioned April is Youth Sports Safety Month.
Yes.
And so I always want to talk mouth guards, and our whole mouth guard campaign started here with the Predators, with the sponsorship with you guys.
That's right.
So
Yes.
and you also are a mom. How important is a mouth guard for you as a mom and bringing that to your kids?
Absolutely. Your safety is key, right? I think ultimately, anytime you're thinking about any sport your kid is playing, whether it be helmets, mouth guards, pads, shin guards, whatever the scenario is, I think as a parent and anybody, you should be thinking about safety first. And I think our partnership has created such a remarkable opportunity for us to make sure that mouth guards are in the hands of everybody playing sports that need mouth guards, right? I wasn't here at the beginning of our relationship and our partnership, but one thing that I really think is important and I think is key to the relationship that we build is that we are both very committed, the Preds and Delta Dental, to community. And our community is really rooted and starts at the youth level, right? And to instill that community component is so key. And so to see Delta Dental care about our youth and our community and making sure that they're safe and that we have protection, especially when you get hit. And you know, it's not just your teeth protection. Mouth guards also protect concussions, right? And it goes so much beyond sort of dental or smiles and all those things, which are really important. But it's about the importance of, you know, the impact of your face and your head and your brain that's so important. So. And
another big thing that you've done, they relocated the Kids Zone.
That's right. That's right. So the Nashville Fun Zone, just inside our guest services, built by Cabinets to Go area, it's an incredible takeover of a space where if you're a parent and you come to the game, you're able to have a place where your kids can run, scream, play hockey, take photos, get your smile like captured on our photos that you guys provide, which is absolutely remarkable. Play video games, get family fun and friendly snacks and prices. And so the Nashville Fun Zone has been a great and very popular and very heavily attended area in our arena this year.
Okay, and how when people come into the arena, how would they find that?
Yeah, so actually you can enter from it. So by coming into through the tower, in that entrance right there in front of, now I'm trying to think of the name of it, off our plaza, and you come into the main entrance, you can go through next to the tower, and there's a door that actually leads you straight into the Nashville Fun Zone. So you can actually enter the building and be ticketed into that zone right away to sort of skip the crowd, let's say, into the main atrium. Or you can come in, and once you come into the main atrium, follow the signage to the Nashville Fun Zone or the guest services area presented by Cabinets to Go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Great.
Well, thank you, Deanna, for taking time with us today.
Yes. We appreciate all the information that you did provide. Deanna Witter, thank you, the Chief Revenue Officer for the Nashville Predators. And don't forget to check out her podcast, 5 Seasons of Women Blazers. Again, thank you. When we come back, we're going to hear about the importance of mouth guards. We'll have all that information for you after this break.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
My name is Royce, Bellman and Omni Hotel. Please come and see us.
Welcome back. I don't know about you, but that was incredible. 2 unbelievable women making strides, or who have in their industries, in their fields.
Yes, absolutely. And both of them are giving back. I mean, they don't just do great work here with the Predators. I actually met Rebecca through a round table of other women who are working within, or actually people within the world of corporate social responsibility. So other corporations or foundations that are giving checks to organizations, and we would get together on a regular basis just to share with what we're doing in the community, learn from others, and that's how Delta Dental got involved with the Kaboom build.
No kidding.
Yes.
Okay. I do have to say, you're around leaders 24/7. This is, what you do. Are you still surprised at what you can take away even after being a leader yourself?
Oh, I'm a sponge. Especially, Deanna's younger than me, but I have been able to pick up so much from her. And one thing about the Trailblazers, and especially the episode with Michelle Kennedy that we talked about, Michelle talks about her mentors. And not all of your mentors have to be women who help bring you up, but you can have champions who are men who help to elevate you and give you opportunities. And I always love hearing those stories about how mentors and sponsors have helped other professionals, men or women.
We can all be a mentor for someone else. Okay, looking ahead to April, being Youth Sports Safety Month, mouth guards a big deal. Talk to us about the 3 mouth guards that you have.
There are different types of mouthpieces, and one thing, mouth guards are not a covered benefit of a dental plan. So, that clarification first. But a dentist can help you with a good mouthpiece. The basic are going to be your boil and bite mouthpieces, and those are the ones, the old fat, you dip it in the boiling water, cool it for a second, and then you get it molded to your mouth. Those are the ones that are good for kids, I'd say elementary school age. That is sufficient for that level of contact that they start making. By middle school and especially by high school, contact sports are a lot harder hitting, or even if you're skateboarding, a 15-year-old is a lot taller than an 8-year-old. They've got a lot harder to fall, and it is a harder fall, or a lot further to fall. And so even with those types of sports, you need to consider a mouthpiece. It needs to be something a little higher grade to give you that prevention that you need to protect your smile. And then when you are really serious high school, contact football, college, a custom mouthpiece is essential. Okay. And those are the ones that a dentist can help you to get it form fitted so it fits your mouth, it stays in there. They do cost a little more money, but it's definitely worth it. So as Rebecca mentioned, or Deanna, the over 100,000 mouthpieces that we have given away with the Predators, those are all the boil and bite mouthpieces. We have a great vendor, Fox 40. They have a warranty that they put with their mouthpieces, and then we brand them. So they're green mouthpieces, they say Delta Dental, and Fox 40 does a special twice bake method to make sure that white is not going to flake off in a child's mouth. So we'll love working with that partner.
Missy, thank you so much. It's always great to be here for Community Checkup. I'm Stefanie Miller.
I'm Missy Acosta.
Yes, and you know who knows better than anyone the importance of mouth guards and safeguards for your teeth? Well, that would be your Nashville Predators. We have some words from some Nashville Predators for you now.
It's good to, as a little guy, to get used to it and getting it attached to your helmet. And it's all about safety. Nobody wants to play a sport. We're all out here having fun, and nobody wants to get injured doing it. So it's a big part of why we're here today is to promote mouthguard and promote safety in hockey. Eric, you're doing a great job, buddy.
I don't have any real teeth. Wear your mouthguard, for sure. You end up looking like me.
Hey, this is Hal Gill. After 17 years in the NHL, people always ask me, how many teeth have you lost? I only lost one. That was early on in my career. Ever since then, I've worn a mouth guard. I haven't lost a tooth since. I also have never had a concussion because it became part of my routine. So, on Youth Sports Safety Month is in April. Make that part of your routine. Put your mouth guard in and go play.